Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Hi there. I see so many people in the chat saying hello from all over the place. So excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're not, well, we're going to get snow in Maryland again tomorrow, but I hope you're all warming up a little bit. I'm looking through the chat. I was really taking the very last second to pop in here, but let me know if you can hear me and see me okay, so that I know. Hello, hello. That would be good. Okay. I want to see everybody popping. I want to say hi to everybody. Obviously not like per name. We'll be here 20 years, but if you're watching the replay later, just skip ahead. Skip ahead. I feel like I'm missing a light. Hang on. I think I'm missing one more light in my room. 1 second. I got to be like blazing underneath the studio lights. I think that's better. Okay. Thank you. Okay, you can see and hear me well. Yay. Thank you. Were your ears ringing or nose itching? You were mentioned in Tiffany's class. Oh, was I? Well, I hope it was good. Yay. Okay. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I was taking the very last moments to get in here because my husband called me literally 4 minutes ago, and was my son actually. And he said, we have a flat tire. And I was like, well, I'm about to go live. So what does this mean? And I said, oh, we might have our first assignment for 𝗦𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗚𝗚, who got her license today, and she is insured and she's ready to get on the road. So I was like, you might have had your first assignment, lady. But then he said, no, they're just going to fix it and come home. He just want to let me know he'll be late. So, but congratulations to 𝗦𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗚𝗚, right? This is so exciting. I'm so excited for her. She was very nervous, of course, as we all have been taking that test, but she passed, and there we go. We are ready. We're ready for her. So it'll be really nice to have her have a little bit of freedom and autonomy, and me not really managing her schedule anymore, because she's in a whole bunch of everything. So I'm always running around picking her up. Husband's picking her up, dropping her off, all that good stuff. So yay. 𝗦𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗚𝗚, if you can hear me, they're all congratulating you. She said, yay. Good deal. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? What's happening? How's life? Are you okay? Are you making time for your creative work, for your creative therapy? Are you giving to yourself in other ways? I want to know. And if the answer is no, no shame, no guilt. Just a reminder from me, as we always do. I don't always start off my lives this way, but I always, those of you who attend, I always start off my classes this way. Is if we're going to come together to create and be in community and have fun and chat, that it's okay to just put down the load for now. Like, it's okay if we want to pick it back up when we're ready, it'll be there. But it's also okay to have joy and laugh and play and create. So it's really important for us to remember that. Right. So, and be frank, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. I hope today gives you a little bit of retreat, and just kind of, just a place to kind of relax into. So, oh, okay. Sweet Sarah's doing more quilting, not as many cards. That's awesome. That's really great. Yeah. Going to part-time after 50 years as a registered nurse. Wow, Deborah. That's a big shift, right? That's well welcomed, I'm sure. Okay, we got Elaine joining groups in crafting. That's amazing. I know, Andrea, I'm with you on the sun. I know, especially 𝗦𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗚𝗚 too. She's like really waiting for summer. She keeps talking about summer. She's very excited. So, healing from foot surgery. Oh no, rest up. Make sure you're not doing anything too soon, too fast. Oh, I was watching your videos till like 3 in the morning. Very cool. I'm glad we can hang out, have some slumber party pajama time. All right, good. Okay, so if you have questions while we're going through this, I will put them in all caps, like the word question, put that in all caps. And this way I can make sure that I get to it. If I miss it, just re-ask it. I picked up my drink to get a drink, and then I put, oh, what am I drinking? Cranberry and orange juice. That's what I'm drinking. Oh no, I'm lying to you. It's pomegranate and orange juice. Pomegranate. That's why it's like so deep red. Okay, what do I want to tell you? Do I have anything to tell you? I have lots to tell you. First and foremost, we're going to do ink blending today. And I really just wanted to, okay, let me just have a confessional for a moment. Okay, just like we're all friends here. And we all understand the creative process. I found myself putting too much pressure on me to come up with the latest and greatest, and I was falling victim to sort of, is this good enough? Do they care? Do they want to see this? All of that, as a lot of creators online do. And it almost prevented me from wanting to go live, because I was like, well, I have specialized ideas for classes every month, and maybe I'm not even bringing anything new. And then I thought, what are you saying? Like, follow your own advice. And that is, sometimes we just need to stop worrying about what it is and just play. And so I thought, what do I love to do and I haven't done in a while? Ink blend. And so that's how today's concept was born, was getting out of my own head, playing with you all, sharing some tips if this is a new technique to you or if you struggle with it. And so that's really what we're going to do, is we are just going to have fun. Now, if you're following along and you want to ink blend as well, I have a myriad of rainbow colors. Everything that I have in front of me, I've put in the description of this video. So if you're like, well, what colors is she using? What stamp, stencils, paper, blending brushes, it's all down there in the description box, because I am solo tonight. And so I'm not going to be able to like add things. If I use something, which I probably will, that's not in that list, I'll just add it later. Okay. But the first thing I do want to tell you, if you are new and this is your first live with us, please sound off if you can and let us know that this is your first live. If you're also fairly new to my channel, then I have a freebie that you're going to want to download. In just a second, I'll tell you about it. If you've been here and we're old friends, you probably already have this freebie. So, okay. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Oh, Joanne, you're also nice. Thank you so much. Okay, so here's what the next thing I want to tell you. In the description, you're going to see download my ink blending guide. That's going to take you to a page where you put in your email and your name, and it will send you, actually, as soon as you click submit, you can click the link and get the download. It'll also add you to my email list. And once you get that email, confirm it if you'd like to hang out with me via email as well. If you don't, just unsubscribe. That's fine. I don't care. But it does save a step for those of you that want to be on my email list. That'll do it automatically, and I don't have to do any extra work. So that's the download. The ink blend. Oh, I printed it and didn't even bring it over. Okay, so we got a fancy new printer at home. I say fancy. It's really not that fancy. But my husband found it and he was very excited for me. Of course, he found it thrifting. He found it at the thrift store. I think my paper is way too thin to be printing this much color on it. But let me switch cameras and show you what we got going on here. So this is the ink blending guide that I put in the download. My paper is just really thin. That's why you're seeing this stuff come through. But anyway, this is the guide. So it's going to go over why ink blending is just magical. I'm going to go over some supply recommendations here in this guidebook. And then I'm going to talk more about that. What are some alternatives you can use? I talk a lot on my channel and in my classes about the trifecta of the best combination to get ink blending. That I say that's the best that I have found. But the thing about that trifecta is any two of these three products is going to be fantastic. It's just that the three together give me the most even blend. So we have the Bristol Smooth Cardstock with a blending brush, which is this kind, okay, with the bristles, not the foam tool, and Distress Oxide, which blends and moves very nicely. Those three give me a super duper blend. But if you have two of those out of the three, you're going to be great. So if you have regular cardstock, but Oxide and blending brushes, if you have Distress ink with Bristol and blending brushes, and quite honestly, other combinations work too. So don't lock yourself into this. Just give it a try and play with your blending. The next thing is some tips. I have 6 major tips for ink blending. Okay. And then also came up with a bunch of distress oxide combinations for you. I have them listed. Even if you don't print them, you don't have to. I would recommend probably not printing them. You're going to have the words here to just the names of the inks. So I have some distress oxide, and then I have more distress oxide. I have 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗗𝗜𝗡𝗚 right here, and then more 𝗥𝗘𝗘𝗧𝗨𝗣. Okay. So that is a resource for you. If you want to grab it, it is a 3. Okay. So any questions on that, on the ink blending guide? Anybody have a favorite mix of their own that you want to share? Put it in the chat, because this community is all about sharing. Speaking of, recently I posted a bunch of videos on money savings tips, and boy, did you all show up in the comments. So many additional shares, ideas, hacks, tips, tricks. So it's good. It's great. So that is, you got to check that out. Yes, we're live. We are live. Maybe hit, oh, I don't know. Can someone if they're chatting easily, can you just maybe say hit refresh, and it'll refresh her thing, and then she'll go live. You know what? I want to make sure though, real quick, I don't like ads coming up while we're in our live. So I just want to make sure I did my part for that portion and turned off. Yeah. Okay, good. So you shouldn't get any ads. If you do, let me know. But if you do, it's way out of my out of my pay grade because I did my part. Okay. Yes. Stephanie, watch my channel. Go check out my playlist called Money Savings, and I have oodles of videos on there to give you ideas. So I right now am going to start pulling out some supplies to do this with. I'm going to do some really fun ink blending. Oh, I know why I turned that overhead light off, because it was giving me a super glare. Let me turn that off real quick. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh no, that made it way darker. Hold on. Hold, please. Why is it so dark in here? All right, 1 second. Technical difficulties. Okay. All right, that should be good. So I'm going to work off of my Tim Holtz glass media mat. All right. And if you didn't know, I also posted a video about making it magnetic. It is magnetic. It is very strong. So check out that video if you have a glass media mat and you want to magnetize it. Okay, first question. If we don't have distress oxides, can you recommend a different ink? I have Altenew. Yeah, pull out your Altenew for sure. Dye inks are great for this. So grab those up. Any other ink except pigment, I would say. So if you have a strictly pigment ink or a metallic ink, I'd probably steer away just for this portion. But others should work just fine. Yay, someone else made their magnetic mat. I love it. Okay, what is O2 ink? O2 ink, I don't know. Does anyone know what O2 ink is? If you do, help us out, because I'm not exactly sure. All right, those are all the questions. Okay, so again, that was great. Thank you for making that capital. I could see it very clearly. Let's talk about ink blending. Look at all these colors I have here. Now, I might not use or even have enough space for all these on one piece of paper. So I'll probably just go first piece with just some primaries, and this way you can see the blending happening. You also want to make sure, maybe if you have on hand, I'm actually going to use a glove in my left hand. I have tried to use like tape, and you can definitely do that, or cardstock, but then I get lines. So I'm going to use gloves. This way I don't put any ink fingerprints. You also want to not touch your paper a lot prior to, because your fingerprints can almost like pre-plant themselves onto the paper, and then that's no good. If I get muffled, someone tell me, because sometimes my microphone like kicks in. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with Lumberjack Plaid, which normally Candied Apple is my favorite. Let me see. Hold on. I think I'm going to go lumberjack plaid because no, that one's a little bit maroony. I'm going to go back to candied apple. That's my favorite. So candied apple. We're going to do a mustard seed. Someone, I think my most asked question is, what color should I start off with? These are my colors that I'm showing you. In the download, I actually list out the rainbow color in there that I love the most, going full rainbow. This is going to mix some of those colors. So yeah, okay, so we have what are our primaries? A red, a yellow, a blue, and then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add a purple instead of going like red to make the purple. So we'll try this time. We have lots of paper here, so we're just going to have fun. Okay, Debbie, go into, click that link right now. Like, well, not right now. I didn't mean to be so bossy. Click that link, put your name and email, and then hit submit and then stop. You should see a link right there. Click that. That will open it right up, and then you can download it from there. If it doesn't, that means you have some sort of firewall not allowing you to have pop-ups or something like that. So give that a try. Okay. If not, shoot me an email direct, and I will just, I don't know if I can send you the PDF, but I can at least send you the link directly. PDF is kind of large. So I have some watercolor cardstock here, and I have some Bristol Smooth right here. Okay, so I'm going to do one, I'm the same colors, do one Bristol Smooth, one watercolor. All right. We may or may not finish a card today. And guess what? It's okay if we don't. Why? Because I don't want to put pressure on myself. Because I want to just have fun. Okay. So let's start with the Bristol. Okay, I'm going to put my watercolor cardstock aside. Water, I think, is more fun with getting that reactive portion. So if you are new to these inks, these and distress inks, as well as a lot of other dye inks, react well with water. And so the fun thing about that is that you can get these fun splatters and you can make really cool backgrounds. Now I'm going to pull over a little silicone sheet here just to hold my ink pads a little bit better for me. So that's the only reason that's there. Otherwise, because I want to be able to keep my hand like around my paper. No pressure, just fun. That's right, Kathleen. Thank you for supporting me. I'm also using these blending brushes right here. These are the smaller ergonomic ones. And then there's also a larger one. I have a new set coming that are, I think there's 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8, and they have all like pretty much all the rainbow colors except neutral, and they're the large ones, and they are only like $17.99. So I'm going to try that. Do they have to be Oxide? Nope, they do not. Pull out any inks you have. You should be able to have some fun with whatever you got. It goes to thank you. Check your inbox for the downloads. Okay, it does. Okay, so I thought maybe, I don't know why I would remove that link. Okay, we'll go. It's possible you unsubscribed at some point in life, and then that system is not forgiving. So send me an email, mary@marypolancodesigns.com, mary@marypolancodesigns.com, and then I will get you hooked up. Okay? Thanks for letting me know. All right, so ink blending, what we're going to do, we're going to start off, it's basically like a 1-2-1 method. So you're going to go one color, the second color, back to the one color. All right, that's like the 1-2 method I like to use. That will kind of ensure a nice even blend happens for you. Okay. So I'll show you that in just a second. You want to also start with a light hand. You don't want to be too heavy with it because you might get splotches where you don't want them. Ink blending brushes, Kathleen, are in the description box. All right, you see all that stuff down there. So light hand, and then you want to dab the ink off. So you want to get a little bit of that ink off to this on the mat there. Okay, just a little bit. And what that's going to do is going to prevent from like a big splotch. I like to then blend into the paper just like this. Now, the good thing about these types of brushes is they blend so beautifully without almost without any splotching, but you have to build it up as well. I think I'd rather this way than, you know, get a bunch of splotchiness with a whole bunch of ink laid down. because I feel like I can control what I want, what I'm going for. Do I want a softer pastel look, or do I want something more bold? Well, you can kind of have both. As you can see, this ink is blending up very, very nicely. Now I know I have 4 colors that I want to put on. So I want to make sure I'm not going too deep with the red, because I want to put the yellow to make an orange, and so on and so forth, right? Yes, these brushes are amazing, Cindy. Makeup brushes, that's what they were intended for. And then the crafting community got a hold of the great idea. And so now you're going to see a lot of makeup brushes, like say like on stores and Amazon, that are going to actually say ink blending. So, but they're pretty much all the same thing. And I've been saying that for what, 6 years now. So I never have a bad problem with them. So what I'm going to do here, this will get faster. I'm just kind of slowing down to talk about it. What I would do here is I would clean up this mess right here. Or, as I do like to do, take a water paper spritz before I clean up, and then just kind of splatten it, because I'm going to make a fun background as we go. Okay. So there we go. That's one. And then we'll just build on that background. And this way we're not wasting all the ink. All right. Question, is there any difference between blending with brushes and foam pads? Yes, I think there is. I think you can still get awesome blends with foam, but I think, look at how smooth this blend is. There's virtually no lines or smudges or anything like that. Now, if you're going to go foam, I would go and recommend the dome foams, which are right here. And you see they have like the dome. They're not flat flat circles. These will give you less of the splotchiness, for sure. For sure. Good question. Okay. Now I'm going to flip my are using now. Is that a question? Stephanie, let me know if that's a question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip, and then I'm going to go in with purple, blue, and yellow. No, I guess I don't need to flip. I don't need to flip. We're not flipping. All right, but I'm going to leave my brush out, because remember I said the 1-2-1 method. So I'm going to bring in the yellow. All right, and I'm going to go add the yellow. Now it gets tricky when you can't go off the sheet exactly. So you have to kind of turn, and you're going to go off the sheet and bring it in this way. It just gets a little tricky when you're not coming from the top. That's all. Yeah, I love my dome foams too. I just don't use them a lot for, if you're using dome foams, I would say you're going to do great with Bristol smooth cardstock and with distress oxides. But like I said, this is not like a science-backed method. It's just my recommendation. So you want to try what works for you. Just experiment, just play. Okay, so now that yellow went on beautifully, and I'm going to be able to then take this. I'm going to go a little bit more into the red, because we don't have a whole lot of paper to work with here. So I'm going to go into the red. And then what do we say? 1-2-1. So I'm going to put down my cardstock, spritz that with water. Look how pretty that's already turning out. Add that. Okay, it's just picking up a little bit of that yellow. All right, there we go. See that? That's really fun background. Wipe it up. And now we're going to move into the red again. So the 1-2-1. Order blending brushes. Note to self. Yes, I do love them. Yes, okay. So going back in with the candied apple. And now I'm going to go just slightly more heavy-handed. A little bit more pressure. The reason I'm okay doing that now is because I've built up a really good color, and I'm not really at risk for getting a lot of splotches. Okay. Is it possible my red needs to be re-inked? Okay, so here's so far. The camera is really not doing it justice. Let me try to point it this way. So the on camera, it's coming up a little more neon. It's not that way in real life. All right. Now you can always go back to your, I'm not going to pick this up with the background because I don't want any more red on there. You can always go back and build it to your liking. You do not have, there is no right way to do this, okay? There just really isn't. All right, Cindy's family is fed and she has joined us. Welcome. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is blue. So what do we say? 1, 2, 1. So I'm going to keep my yellow around and then I'm going to go in with blue. All right. And I'm going to turn the paper because I'm going to work a little bit more in this direction. Well, yeah, I'm just going to work my way down this way. Okay, this blue is Salty Ocean. I started off. I'm bringing it in. I can already see that blue mixing with the yellow in a really beautiful way. I'm going to bring it from the bottom and move my way up. For backgrounds, these large circular blending brushes are my recommendation. They give me the best, smoothest results. So huge fan of that. Now, do we see, I'm going to show you this up close. And when we do the second card, I'm just going to move a lot faster. But in here, you can see it's starting to turn green a little bit there. I'm going to go to yellow and then back to blue a little bit because let me clean this up first. I don't want to cross-contaminate. I'm going to have to go back to blue because I want a little bit more of that green. So that's just what we're going to have to do. This is fun because as I put it aside, it's drying. So then the new color is almost like sitting on top. That's what oxides do. They're a little bit more opaque. And so they lay on top of each other instead of like try to soak into each other or hide. Does the softness of the bristles of the blending brush matter? I believe it does. If you have a junky, because it's crusted up with ink, blending brush, it's going to give you harsh lines because then you're going to have clumps in there. So I do believe so, yes. So let's go back with the yellow. And then I'm going to go in right down the center. I'm already seeing a beautiful green mix right down the center with that yellow. Okay, I'm even going to bring it up into the red a little bit more. Okay, so far so good. Going back to the blue. This is actually a 1, 2, 1, 2. And I don't want to cross-contaminate here. Just clean that up. You notice I'm not getting any fingerprints on there. So my weird glove is working. My weird glove is working. All right. Again, I'm using Bristol Smooth Cardstock, Distress Oxide inks, and blending brushes. Okay. How magical and whimsical is that already? We're getting such a good blend. The last color that we're going to go in with, see how I have yellow on there? That is no big deal. I'm just going to clean it off on my microfiber cloth. Not a big deal. Okay. We're going to go in with purple now. Aren't they so soothing? I agree. The colors are so soothing. And just the blend I'm getting is just really soothing. I don't mind building it up. I mean, like, especially if I'm here put on a good show, background noise, and just play. It's just fun. The purple color that I'm going to use is Wilted Violet. So that's our next color here. And you notice with any kind of silicone mat holding down your ink pads, you don't have to worry about them shifting around. I can just use one hand there. But you can use anything that's silicone or grippy, anything. You don't have to have anything craft branded or specialized for that. All right, so I'm going to go in with my purple. I think my Wilted Violet needs to be re-inked. We'll worry about that another day. And I'm going to let this blend in a little bit to the blue. There's not much space for me to work with. I didn't set myself up really for success here. But I do want a little bit of that purple peeking in. I'm going to go back to the blue. I'm just going to move this so I don't have to clean. And then I'm going to come back. And with these brushes, you can even go you can even go like this. And you get a nice blend. Circular is the best, but you can still get a nice blend. All right, back to purple. I'm going in with a little heavier hand. I'll lay down that color. And then I'm softening my hand. I'm softening the grip on it. I'm going to go lighter as I move up. Okay? So let's have a look-see. This is what we have. Okay, so that blended beautifully. Do you wash your brushes? If so, how often? No, not really. I usually just, I need to. I need to do that. But what I usually do is just spritz at the end of my craft session, I'll spritz a microfiber cloth and I'll kind of rinse, quote unquote, wash them in there and then dry them on a dry one. I guess that is washing them. So I do that.
Hey, Mama.
Hi.
I'm gonna go pick up Papa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm leaving now.
Did you teach him how to do a pin drop?
I tried. He doesn't know how to.
Doesn't know how to. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye, love. Thank you. Her first assignment. She's out to go pick up the boys. Okay, I'm going to spritz this. Ooh, don't want to spritz my paper yet. And I'm going to grab my background and we're going to do some picking up here. Glass mats are not usually my go-to for ink smushing. They don't move the ink as well as I like it, but it's all we got right now, and that's what we're doing. If you want to know tips for ink smushing, maybe we'll do that in the next live, but I do have a class on that on my page. All right, what do we think? Did we say anything about this? Silicone baking sheets, great idea. I knew I'd forget, put on my calendar, and it did not alarm. Glad I caught. Oh yeah, we pretty much just started. I know we've been going for 30 minutes, but we just started. All right, hang on one second, everybody. I have to tell Adia something.
Oh, hey, what are you doing?
Okay. Be safe.
Okay, I will.
Okay. I can't watch her pull away for the first time.
Oh,
my heart.
Everyone, can you not let her go for 2 seconds?
Be still, my heart. It's okay. Take your time. Get situated in the car. Remember the rules. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm back with you. Okay. So, thank you, Crafty Kim. Yes, it does. I think it looks really good. This is a really good turnout. So we're going to do the exact same thing with the exact same colors on watercolor cardstock. Now, does the watercolor cardstock matter? I don't know. I'm sure it does. I mean, different materials are different makeups. I'm using Canson XL. I've also used Arteza. I've used Tim Holtz. So I don't know. I'm not a watercolorist, so I don't really care if it's like the good quality because it's just for fun for what I'm doing. Yeah, blending brushes are amazing. They're selling themselves right now. Honestly, they're the best. Okay, Kathleen, thanks for that ad about what you do with your brushes. Let's go and start over. And we're going to start again with our red, and that's going to be Candied Apple. And this time again, I'm on Canson XL watercolor cardstock. Don't touch the cardstock with your ungloved hand. Agreed. I think I even said that in the beginning of this. And here I am. But I'm also, full disclosure, she's driving away for the first time ever. So I'm a little distracted by that. She's on the road now for the first time ever, going to her friend's house. The boys don't need her anymore. So, okay. All right. So yes, do not touch with your ungloved hand. You have too many oils on your fingers that you're just going to mess it up. Let's go. All right. I'm already loving it. We're going to build up a little bit of color. Thanks, Kathleen. Thank you. All these big milestones, right? I was chatting with one of the other fathers out there while we were waiting for the girls to come back, and we can't believe it. They were just crying in their cribs 2 days ago. There we are. Well, thanks, Tamara. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna go in. I think I like that background. We're gonna move on with production here a little quicker. Actually, oh, did you see the background? Let me show you. This is what we got. Isn't that fun? Such a fun background. Just from picking up excess ink. Didn't even intend to do it. All right, I'm gonna move the red. Now, what I am noticing, that the color's laying down faster on the watercolor cardstock. Could be the cardstock, but could also be that I have loaded my ink with my brush with ink a few times. That's could also happen. Yeah, I know. Suzanne. Okay, let's talk about something else. Let's go into yellow. You're also sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that support very much, really. Okay, I'm going to go from the side here. We're going to lay it down. You notice I'm just traveling right across that cardstock with like so much ease, right? I'm loving the blending. I'm already getting into the red. That looks good. You can see it's sort of like a light, super light color here. That just means I need to go back to step 1. Remember 1, 2, 1. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to go a little deeper into the yellow because we want to get some of that orange mix. All right, so we'll do that and then clean up. Reason that I switched to my glass mat, I was using a self-healing mat for a lot of my filming and it was a beast to get clean, to keep clean, to get clean. And it just doesn't, for my aesthetic look like on the camera, I just don't want to work off a messy mat personally. That's my own preference. So that's why I went to a glass mat. Then I had a lot of reflective issues. And then the white mat didn't look good under here. So I was like, you know, Tim Holtz, I sold you a long time ago, but because you're not magnetic, but I'm going to rebuy you and I'm going to make you magnetic. And so now I'm happy. Okay. What are we doing? I just touched it. Don't tell Kathleen. We're going to go into blue. Okay. All right. I need more details on this, Stephanie. What do you mean it's life-changing? Expand, share. Thank you, Cindy, for letting folks know where stuff is. I appreciate that. I don't always catch those comments. So I'm going in with my blue. I've got to be honest with you. I'm loving this mix too. This is fantastic. I might have to update my trifecta because this is going on beautifully. I'm going to need to go back in with some yellow though. I'm losing my yellow. All right. All right. And then we're going to switch. Are you all empty nesters, Stephanie and Wanda? Is that what you mean by like leave, or just drive away? Because I'm only at the drive away phase. I have a year and a half before she goes off to college. All right, going in with the purple. I don't know how, but I made more room for the purple this time, so that's good. You also want to consider if this isn't working well for you, do your pads need to be re-inked? That's a definite possibility. So you want to make sure you're keeping them nice and juicy. And little pro tip, because I had to learn this the hard way, for Oxide inks, when you re-ink those, you need to shake up that re-inker bottle really, really well. All right, I'm going to go back in with some yellow because I'm seeing this green is coming up beautifully, but it's also, I was losing it. Okay, I know when to stop. Stopping is happening now. And then we're going to have a look. All right, so here's another beautiful, beautiful blend that we have. All right, so we have that one. That's the watercolor, and this is the Bristol Smooth. We do see a little bit of a difference. I can see this is more bold. I feel like the watercolor cardstock maybe brought it out. I'm also working on the textured side. Don't know if that matters, but really, really pretty. All right, late to the party. I love a fashionably late arrival, Kimberly. It's all in the description box of the video. You'll see all those colors, except I'm using Candied Apple, not Lumberjack Plaid. Yay, okay. Thank you. Okay. Where am I? I'm sorry, I'm reading. All right, so that's what we have. Now, let's talk about the water reactiveness of these cardstocks, because that's what I'm going to do next. I'm actually going to spritz some stuff. What time is it? How long have we been at it? 40 minutes. Okay. I have 2 recommendations for you when you are spritzing and using the water reactive. Number 1, which I didn't think about till now, cover your ink pads. There's no reason to be adding water to your ink pads. We're going to do that. Number 2, you can use stuff other than water, okay? You don't have to stick with water. I have this. I'm going to try it out for the first time today. This is the 𝗦𝗘𝗧𝗨𝗣 Shimmery Spritz. I also have the Imagine Crafts Shimmer. This is really has been my go-to for years, but I'm going to try this one because someone recommended it to me. You like the darker one, Joanne? Yeah, I like. They're both very pretty. I think they both give off different vibes. Okay, so Netwear is empty now. Her nest, his or her nest is empty, and I only had one. Okay. Yep. So our son is 12 and our daughter is 16. I'm shaking it up because I don't want anything to be sitting on the bottom. Okay, we're good. So, okay, so yeah, think outside the box. Like you can spritz things other than just the water. Now, the water is going to give you a beautiful water reactive look, but the shimmer stuff should leave behind a shimmer effect. So we are going to, does everyone know what like the water reaction looks like? I feel like that's old hat. Like we should know what that is, right? Let's see if I have any cards that have the water reactive. You would think I'd have them right in front of me, huh? But I don't. Okay. Okay, question. Does it matter if you dry your ink or not before you do the shimmer? No. And here's why. You might disagree with me out there. The reason I say no is because it's not watercolor. If I was watercoloring with them, if this is ink blending, if I was watercoloring with them, then I would say yes, because otherwise the water's just going to continue to blend. But since they're ink blended and they're sort of flat, I can probably leave these for a day and come back and they'll still react to the water. So I don't think that that's necessary. So that's my opinion on that, but that's me just quickly thinking through it. Good question. So I'm not going to dry these. I'm not going to like use a drying tool to get these. If I was going to heat emboss on them, 100% you want to dry them and then test them by pouring powder over with no ink. Just pour the powder, flick the powder off and see if it sticks. If it doesn't stick, you are good. Okay. So that's one thing though, you want to make sure. Okay. I love Chris, nice math. Okay. So let's do the shimmer spritz. I think that's going to be fun. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do an actual like spritz over them. And I'm going to show you that. I have to get it working first. Okay. So you can do an actual spritz on them. So I'm going to just do a light coverage of spritz. You can slowly squeeze the bottle and let it drop out, or you can take it off like this. Okay. And then you can hit it down like that. Now, which one is already showing a lot more reaction? Watercolor. Watercolor is showing that reaction immediately. Okay. No hesitation on that. Again, another reason why I love my glass mat. Look at this. I'm just cleaning it up. I'm so glad I figured out that lighting. I was missing my glass mat so much, and so many people were like, you told us you loved your glass mat and it's never in your videos. I was like, I know, but I figured it out. Okay. So now I've let that sit for a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to pick it up. Here, I'm just going to press that down. You can see it kind of coming through the paper towel. Again, over here. Oh, another pro tip. Don't put colored paper towels down because it actually can transfer your ink. Okay, that actually dried into the watercolor cardstock a lot faster than the Bristol. Okay, now I'm going to show you up close. So here's the watercolor cardstock right here. You see that shimmer? I know you see it. Tell me you see it. Okay, Cindy, you found your shimmer spritz. Isn't that like Christmas? Okay, and then this one is the Bristol Smooth. Look how pretty that is. You see how the overall light mist gives such a beautiful coverage on the whole cardstock. And then, so again, even spritzing or splattering on your project can vary. So you can do a little bit, a lot, mist, clumps, whatever, right? So there's so much that you can do. I'm going to take a tiny little break and come over to you here and read some comments. Okay, so Cindy says she needs to practice. That's okay. Yeah. Question, the blending link doesn't work for me. The blending link. Amber, what blending link? Are you talking about the guidebook? Question, do you need a setting spray with your shimmers? I sure hope not, because if this is like mica and water only, then I need to call up these companies because that will just completely wipe clear. So I don't know. What I will know once it dries is if I touch it and the spritz comes off or the shimmer comes off on my fingers, then yes, you'll need to set it. When if I were to make my own shimmer spray, I would use water, mica powder, and gum arabic. And then the gum arabic creates a bonding agent in there. So you don't have to do that. The blending guide. Okay, so is the blending guide not working for anyone? If it's working for other people, then we know it's on your end, at least for troubleshooting. You can always send me an email, mary@marypolancodesigns.com. I'll get you that. All right. Good. Okay. Didn't work for me either. Well, shucks. Hang on a second, everybody. Let's see what's going on. Just need to go over to my computer for a second. I am going to see about this because we just can't have that. Okay. I'm in the description. Grab my ink blending. It's working. So I click grab my ink blending guide here. Let me try it in another, another profile. Okay. Yeah, it's working on my end. So just shoot me an email. I will put my email in the chat right now since I'm sitting here at my computer. And then let me know. Okay, and okay, thanks, Kimberly. Kimberly said it worked for her and she just got the email, so that's good. Sometimes firewalls on our computer don't let it. If you have pop-up issues, or Firefox did not work. Yeah, try Chrome or another web browser. So that'll be good. I'm in Chrome. Okay, yeah, that helps. I always forget about that as well. Oh, I'm looking a little like I need some sun. This is my winter look. Let's do something with these panels, eh? I got 3 backgrounds to play with. Let's see what we can do. All right, so this one, it seems a little uneven. I'm going to put more splatter on that one. This one I'm not going to touch. The mist over this Bristol Smooth is just making my heart flutter. So also, my very first impression of this Altenew shimmer spray is I like it. I like it a lot, in the words of Jim Carrey. I'm going to go back in, though, with my old shimmer spray and see what I can get, just because I have an opportunity here to experiment and compare. Okay, that's the spritz. Let's splatter. Okay, it's just a little bit of a different color. This shimmer spray, as opposed to the Altenew. Altenew sort of looks white, shimmery. This one looks just a little bit more clear, shimmery. Oh, they're both very sparkly. I think how do I say this without sounding like a nerd? Okay, I think the Altenew is more shimmer and the Imagine Crafts is more sparkle. Only my crafty friends will understand what I mean. If I tried to say that in any other group, they'd be like, pretty sure that's the same thing. Do you hear me though? Do you get what I'm saying? It's more like flat shimmer versus sparkle, dance sparkly. Right? Yes. Okay, Wanda, are you saying yes to me? I hope so. Let's see. Have you used the Altenew shimmer spray a lot? No, Kimberly, this is my very first time, actually. So, but I have had this shimmer spray for years and it hasn't clogged. Totally get me. I just feel seen and in community. Yes, blingy. Cindy, that's the word too. Blingy. Very good. Francis, no. That's a no from you. Okay. I like it. But you can see it. I think you can see what I'm talking about. Look up here on the right. This is the Imagine Crafts. And that's the Altenew down here. All right, I think I've beat that to death. Let's see what we're going to do with these. Now, when you have your backgrounds, anyone else have a gazillion backgrounds that they need to do something with? Yeah, when you do, there are a lot of things you can do with your backgrounds. You can do just a black stamp on them. You can die cut them. You can, I don't know, what else can you do with your backgrounds? I have a whole background sheet with ideas. But you can cut them up. You can strips. You can cut them in half and make 2 cards right away. Like there's so many things that you can do. I had some products that I got from the clearance section over at scrapbook.com that I want to play with. So this, if we have time, or maybe I'll just come back for another live, we'll do some more ink blending. I love this stencil because of how big it is and like the ink blending you can do inside the stencil. I just think that's so fun. Stencil on them, mixed media. Thank you, Susan. Absolutely. Emboss, dry emboss, heat emboss, paste embossed, right? Yes. Oh, yeah, the balloon is so big, right? So I got that. I probably won't get to that today, but look at this stamp, how pretty this is. I thought, what if we stamped this in and did like a gold embossing over it? So this is sort of like this is the background, and then this is like gold heat embossed. All right. So I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to choose to do it on the lighter one. Okay. All right. Question. What else can be used if we don't have shimmer spray? Let's see. Water. You can also maybe you don't have shimmer spray, but do you have like any of the 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗥𝗚𝗚 paints, watercolor paints? Let me show you. Like this right here. Oh, like that. Do you have anything like that? Because if you do, you can just splatter those on. Anybody else have any ideas? Eyeshadow? Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Perfect water with perfect pearls. Thank you for that. Like I said, if you're going to use mica, though, you're going to want to add some sort of bonding agent or set it at the end with hairspray or mixative, fixative or something. So there's that too. That's a good question. I'm going to go up here with my mic. Hopefully that's okay. Okay. Can shimmer relief paste be used? I don't know. I don't have any of that. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Perfect pearl mist, hickory smoke mica, iridescent medium with water. Great ideas. Thank you for that. I can't believe it's been almost an hour already. This is insane. Okay, so what did I say before? What do I have to do to this before I try to heat emboss on it. Anybody remember? Anybody? How much gum arabic do I use? I believe it's like a 1-for-1. So, and you're adding such a small amount of mica, like to water. Start small and build up if you want. But let's say you have, don't use this much, but I'm giving you an example of what I mean 1-for-1. A teaspoon of that and a teaspoon of gum arabic. That is what I think I remember researching when I used it, but I do have a video on my channel using the gum arabic, so I probably should refer to that. Got to test it for dryness. That's right. Absolutely. Pour powder on it. Love it. Very good. Okay, so I am going to actually dry it first before I test it because I don't think it's fully dry. But I'm going to attempt that first. Now, as I'm drying, you should not hear my dryer. My mic should mute it. So hopefully that does. Try the pan. No, you all are such good listeners. Gold stars for all the students here. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is, as if I was going to heat set this, or excuse me, go through with the embossing portion. I like an anti-static powder bag. So if you have one, I know I have one. Oh, my son made this for me when he was like 6, 7. Oh God, don't tell him I said that. 7 years old. Look how cute it is. They just did modeling clay in class. And I was like, I love it and I will keep it forever. And it is now the holder of my old anti-static powder bag. So I just keep that there. But isn't that the most adorable? But I'm going to use, I like this. It's unnecessary. It's one of my favorite things though. It's just it was an empty makeup powder thing. And then I added the anti-static powder bag to it. So I'm just going to place this on there. I'm going to cover that. That's going to help keep our image a lot cleaner. Okay. We can wipe it away. Now, if I just ruined the sparkle on my sheet because of that, then I will let you all know. I know I still see the sparkle. All right. So next, before I'm going to stamp it, I'm going to just pour the powder over it. So that if this is your first time seeing this, this is how we test. So I'm just going to pour it all the way over it. And I'm going to see if it falls off. See how it fell off pretty well? Look at that. Nothing really stuck. Okay. So I'm going to try the other end. I'm going to make sure it's dry. Yep. And it fell off. Even if it sticks a little bit, if you can flick it off, you're good. Okay. I had a little extra. Okay. I think I'm good with that. I feel confident in that. So I'm going to stamp it now. I'm going to pull out my stamp positioner, because I like to stamp with Versamark twice. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, my recipe says 1 part powder to 8 parts mica. Oh, well, look at that. Liquid. Thank you for fact checking me, because I thought it was 1-for-1. So that's good. And you don't want to go through that gum arabic if you don't have to as fast. If it's the same product, maybe read your product and see what it's saying too. Okay. I'm going to put my ink or my paper in the center because my stamp is very large. This one is, I got this one off clearance as well. Floral Garden. It was so pretty. And can I just let you in on a little confession here as someone who does videos and does classes? There's a lot of times where I know myself and a lot of my other fellow crafty creators online, we feel like we can't partake or enjoy in the clearance section. Clearance usually means something's being discontinued or, you know, whatever. You're not going to see it much. And there's a lot of that, like, again, most of it's self-induced, but the pressure to be like, well, I want to be able to at least provide my audience with the products in case they wanted it. Because I've been in that spot where I'm like, I really need a floral stamp and that's a beautiful one. And now you've showed it to me and I want it and it's out of stock. Right? So, but I am shifting away from that mindset because you use what you have. And if it's not in stock anymore, I'm really sorry. I am. That stinks. Most of my stuff is still in stock. But at the same time, use what you got. Well, I'm sure you got something comfortable. Right? I hope that's okay. What would you do? Ooh, if it wasn't dry and the powder stuck? Great question. I would heat it again with my heat tool, and then I would try it all over. So you just want to keep testing it until it's dried. That's what you do. Now, I don't have a sticky mat in here, and this is a rubber stamp. So I'm just going to use a piece of tape to hold it down. Okay. And then let me see which way this goes. It goes this way. Now, if you didn't want the whole thing, you can absolutely put it back down in the corner and just get a portion of it on there. But I'm going to do the whole thing. It's such a pretty stamp. I did in one of my recent videos, I also, while we're here, I also did it black embossed, and then I used food coloring as ink, just as a cheap way to be creative. And that was the look. I thought that was so fun. Same stamp. We're going to get a drastically different look with this. Oh, yeah. Okay. 99 Zan, wipe the powder off first. That's a good point. If you have a lot of clunky powder, you wipe that off, like just lightly with something else that's not wet or anything like that. I've tried to do that and I've left clunky powder on there. It does kind of prohibit, if it gets into the Versamark ink, it will make the image not clear. So that's a really good tip. Okay, so we're on there. I'm going to use some Versamark clear sticky ink. Lots of brands make embossing ink. So whatever you got, it'll work. And this is almost going to pretty much cover most of our top here. So this stamp is well loved and conditioned already, even though I don't know. Yeah, you kind of have to condition rubber, but not as much as the photopolymer. Jan, you're always right where you're meant to be. You are not late. I showed you all in a recent video a Chucky tool that I made. I have this one, but you can make one. I also had a hockey puck I showed you in a recent video. You all go to that video and read if you want a Chucky tool. This is a Chucky tool that a subscriber gave to me, fellow crafty friend. But if you want to make your own, there are some really cute ideas that you all have shared with me. It's so great. I like to stamp twice, like I said. So I'm going to do that. Sometimes I am like so surprised that I'm able to come out with any sort of project when I'm live, because I'm just chatting it up so much. I'm like, how does my brain just go on autopilot? I've been doing this so long, I guess. Do I use liquid or powdered gum arabic? I use the powdered. Yes, a dry eraser for a Chucky tool. Love that. So now we have this, and now what I'm going to do is just put this aside. I'm going to bring over my embossing ink or powder. This is Princess Gold from scrapbook.com. Making a note right here as I do this. The anything that's not listed, but if you were like, oh, yep, I got to add that because I'm out of this or whatever. I also in the description put all the store links. You can click on any one of those stores or any of the links I shared. And if you purchase anything from the store, not just what I linked, but anything, the affiliate commission will go to me or any other creator that you love whose links you click on. Okay. I did not know that before I had affiliate links. I thought I had to purchase something, that thing, from the viewer, or God, there's my brain, from the creator. And that's not true. It just, that link just brings you into the site. I just, I make sure I use affiliate links and not my own. Whenever I resupply, stock up stuff from scrapbook.com, I bounce between a few different creators. Yes, sharing your ideas already. Look at, see, you guys always show up. All right, already I'm in love with this, but our love shall deepen in just a moment when you'll see why. I'm going to warm up my heat tool. I want this really hot because I'm doing a whole panel and I don't want it to warp that much. Oh, all right, Mary. I love to hear that. That's awesome. Okay. Yes, thank you, Diana. I have more coming. I have another thrift store video that I'm editing. I went back there and I can see me adding that as one of the series on the channel because again, it's not stuff that you can necessarily duplicate, but I'm trying to get us out of our own way of thinking and find alternative stuff that inspires us and that looks good for organization and whatever. But I had so much fun doing that first thrift store video. My lives, this live will be on the YouTube channel. It'll just be on the replay. My classes are not. Those are private. And I haven't even talked about my class yet. How could I not do that? Can you hear this heat tool or do you hear just me? Can someone answer that? I want to see if you can hear me while I speak because this is super loud. Is the embossing powder, hold on, just you, okay. Is the embossing powder fine or regular? This one's fine. This is the Princess Gold by Ranger, I think, and it's the fine kind. Look at that, how it's changed it. You see it? Okay, good. Okay. Just me. That's good. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, my embossing paste class. Are you registered? Are you coming? I hope so. My prices are still pick what you can. The only time my prices are not pick what you can, price what you can, pay what you can, is special events. Those are usually a fixed price, but my monthly classes, I try to keep pick your own price. I did have to move it from $1 to $1.50 because I was getting almost nothing after the credit card and PayPal fees. So this way I at least get, like 90 cents on $1.50. Okay, I will talk about my classes. But first, before we do that, oh my God, I gotta step back. I gotta take a step back. So pretty. What do we think? Oh, it's just so pretty. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we have Karen is a 2 a.m. start. Well, you're such a dynamo. I love that. Okay, this is, yes, thank you. I think it's gorgeous too. It's so pretty. Like this is one of those where I would probably trim off this very bottom just because the stamp kind of like has a line there. But this is one of those, if I even have it, where you make like the smallest and simplest sentiment and just like put it right here in the center. Like, it's just you let the background do the work. That's what I say. Hallmark worthy. Thank you. That's pretty. Thanks, Stephanie. Okay, so someone said the stamp is fabulous. It really is pretty. That's why I got it. I don't often buy. My inventory is very low, actually. I was watching a video the other day, and I think the woman shared she had 2,000 stamps, and I was like, am I underbuying? I have maybe 100, maybe, I think. Anyway, but anyway, I don't buy that much stuff. I use a lot of dyes. I have some staple stamps. I have some good quality stuff, and trust me, I have enough. But I saw that and I was like, oh, I just want a background stamp. Yeah, Mary, you just want a reason to go to the thrift store. Well, so anyway, okay, let me talk about my class. So this is the background, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm happy. But look at, okay, wait, real quick. I know I'm all over the place. You're probably like, Mary. Look at the difference. Just one stamp and the different looks you can get. Use your stuff. Use your stuff. Pull it out. Play with it. Use it and challenge yourself. Say, I've been wanting to use this stamp for 5 years now. I'm going to come up with 3 different ways to use it. Let's play. Just play. My dogs are scratching at the door. And if anyone else out there has pups, you know they won't relent. Come on. So, yes. All right. Let's talk about class. Class is, I'm going to put this link in the chat box. It's also in the description, but just in case. We are having our embossing paste class. Now, I'm going to talk about it more detail than I do on my little tiny promos on YouTube because I want to answer your questions. There's the class registry. All right. So in this class, we are going to be playing with embossing paste. First thing I want to make known, if you don't have embossing paste and you're like, I don't know if I even want to open up that Pandora's box of embossing paste, don't be afraid to still come because number one, watch and see if it's something that you're wanting to play with or add to your repertoire. Secondly, you don't have to spend money on stuff. All right. I showed in one of my last videos 2 very inexpensive ways to create. Here is some spackle that you put on your wall. This cost me $2. Grab up a tub of this and some food coloring from the baking aisle in the grocery store. You can have white for embossing, or you can put a little food coloring in there and make your own colors. All right. That is so cheap and it's just easy. Okay. So you don't need a lot to come. If you have pastes and you want to know if what you have is going to work for what we're going to do, the answer is yes. Because I'm not doing anything super specific and techniquey. We are really just having an opportunity to use what we have to try out some new techniques, to do some mixed media play. That's really what we're going to do. Okay. I think the first portion, I know the first portion of the class is going to be talking about supplies. We're going to be mixing up some stuff. We're going to be looking at some different products, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. And here's why. When you register, there is a bonus video, a bonus class in there, and it is the embossing paste, or really Simon Hurley lunar paste, over your embossing folder, letting it dry, and then peeling it off. Have any of you seen that? Because if not, wow. Okay, I experimented, I made mistakes, I video recorded those mistakes for you so you don't do them, but let me show you what that does and how fun. Okay, this is Simon Hurley lunar paste being put into an embossing folder, left overnight, I think maybe 2 nights, overnight's fine, and then peeled off, and then I die cut it down. So even when I ran it through my die cutting machine, it did not lose its shape, right? This is another one in the embossing folder where then when I peeled it out, I just cut this out. Okay, what a fun addition. So I show you how to do that. I talk about do's and don'ts. I know I definitely didn't come up with that. I've seen it 3 or 4 different people do it on online. But I wanted to share it with you. Okay, so that's super fun. That's your bonus module. We're not going to do that in class except maybe to peel. So if you want to do that as homework and let it sit, and then during class we'll peel it off together, that'll be fun. But right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, if you don't join us and because you don't have access to that vehicle, I would not use anything except lunar paste. If you want to try something else, by all means, experiment at your own risk. I used textured paste and it just got stuck everywhere. It doesn't have a bonding where like you can peel it like the lunar paste does. So that's my tip, and a spoiler alert for the module, but it's super fun. Do you mean just the paste or paste on paper? No. Okay, great question. That's a really good clarification. It's the paste onto the folder. So you take the paste. You don't need to join my class to see this. You can look online, but you take the paste and you smear the paste inside of this. What I do in my module is I show you do's and don'ts. And so that's the only thing extra you're getting. But yes, you just place it in there, you let it dry, and then you could peel it right off. It's really cool. So that's your bonus. Then I also, just for ease of access, I also put in there the video I did years ago comparing embossing pastes, which I looked at a ton of different embossing paste. So that's just for informational purposes. I haven't been looking at the chat, so if I missed something, let me know. Question, so we shouldn't use your DIY paste? I probably wouldn't. No, great, yeah. I'm only telling you in that video to use this with lunar paste because I don't have, I'm not gonna, wait, full disclosure, folks. I gotta come on the camera for this one. No, I will not be putting anything else, even experimenting, besides the lunar paste, because it took me so long to clean out that embossing folder. So yeah, okay. I would just say, that's it. If you want to try it, by all means try it, but I'm not going to try anymore. And I wouldn't try my DIY paste. No. Okay, it might work. I mean, if you have a paste that's like a molding paste, that probably will work, right? Because it's going to stick together. So that's good. What else about the class? All right, so we are going to start at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's on Saturday, next Saturday, the 28th. You will have access to the replay. And like obviously all the supplies and all the instructions for the two additional cards. We have prizes. I have lots of good stuff coming your way, lots of good prizes, and you don't have to be there to win. I pick the prize winners before class starts. So just registering will get you into the running for prizes. Yeah, so any questions about class itself? Yep, Mary, what do you mean how thick the paste? Come back with that. I used Ultra News Shimmer Relief Embossing Paste and it worked good, but it needs to be put on really thick. Yes, if that's what Mary means, yes, you want to put it on very thick. And that's, again, I go over that in detail because my first run through was very, very thin, and that's pointless. You don't want your embossing plate, embossing folder. You don't want those grooves to not have anything on them, or else when you peel, it's going to fall apart. You need a thick, thick layer. Oh, good question, Kimberly. So we'll probably go till about 2:30. I can't anticipate too much longer than that. All right. So any questions for me, class related or otherwise? I hope you can join. I'm going to throw that back in there as well. And then also, if you have any ideas that are coming to mind real quick about future classes, because I stopped putting a whole year theme out of every month knowing the theme because that was stifling me creatively. So now I'm going to go about 2 months out. So we already have March's theme, and then I'm ready to put in April's theme. I have some ideas, but I want to hear from you too to keep it as relevant as possible. Thanks, Melanie. So glad you're going to make it. It's a lot of fun. Adia is our executive assistant for those classes, so she'll be here with us. Yeah. Okay. All right. No ideas? Any ideas? Future class, fun folds. Fun folds is the most requested. I have a great idea for a fun fold. Well, it's not, I didn't come up with the idea. I had a great video that inspired an idea for a fun fold, and it's probably a one and done. Like, we're going to make this one card together, and it's going to be so fun and so cute, but it's pretty intricate, let's just say. So I think that'll be, yes, that's on the docket. I just added it. Thank you. Oh, leave the folder open. If someone asks if they should close it or not, no, leave it open and dry. Okay, so kid card ideas, that's a good idea. I hesitate in themes like that because here's why. Well, kids might be a little bit different, but like birthdays, sympathy, holiday, I try to stay away from those types of themes and do more like using products and using techniques, because then you could probably use that for all of those things. But kids, I could see that being a little bit different. Yeah. Kids, I feel, though, has to be like super, almost specific to the kid. Like, I have a Lego set that I have for AJ. His birthday's coming up, making him a Lego card. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, kind of specialized to what they like. So, but yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, I can never get a fun fold to work. Oh no. I'm just getting back into crafting after 10 years, so I want to see it all. Okay, that's enthusiasm. I love it. Ways to use pattern paper? That's good. I love that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you were here, Green Alan. I'm glad. I like to do my lives that aren't classes at different times because of that. My 12 o'clock classes, really, I'm not going to be able to change that. But occasionally I do like to come in the evening. Oh, 99 Zan, that's awesome. It's amazing me how you come up with so many different ideas. K. The struggle bus is real sometimes, though. I'm always in, I have like a running notes in my phone when I'm watching something, or if I'm thinking of something, or even outside of crafting, if I'm inspired by something, I just throw that in there, and it's a good way for me to keep my brain in check. Ways to use scrap papers. I like that. Yeah, use your scraps. Good ideas, folks. I love it. Awesome. Okay. Well, I won't hold you hostage. Usually keep it around an hour to an hour and a half for my lives. I hope you had fun today. I hope you learned something, or at least got to play with your stuff if you're a pro. This was a lot of fun for me. I got to do one of the techniques I love so much. I think if you made me, if you're like, pick a technique that's your favorite, you said it with that tone, scared me, I would say ink smushing, because you twisted my arm, but I love them all. But while we're here, anyone want to see some of the new products I got that I'm going to play with? Anyone? I'm very excited about some of this stuff. And if you already have these, let me know, because okay, listen, I'm confession time again. I saw a short that I shared on my my Facebook page that just amazed me, and I was like, yeah, add to cart. Did I try that technique yet? Sure didn't, but it was really cool. So this right here, I saw this technique online. If you follow me on Facebook, it's on there, the link, the short, and it was so cool. So I have to go back and do that. I also picked up watercolor brush markers, which I probably didn't need, but they look like fun. And they look like really easy to just get to watercoloring. But why don't I need them? Well, because I have a water brush, and I have ink pads and re-inkers and watercolor paints, but we don't need to get into all that. I did get the water brush pens, and those look like fun. So there you go. That'll be a good time. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for those of you that are dropping off. I'm so happy you learned so much today, Karen. That makes me so happy. Thank you. Yes, I am going to not clean up, because I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a great opportunity to come in here, put on some fun music, and clean. Thank you for sharing your time with me, because Todd, who said that, because this is the resource in life that you can't put more of a balance on, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. And so the fact that you're choosing to spend your time here together with us is not lost on me, and I am super, super grateful for it. So thank you for that. Thank you for the great conversation. Thank you for all the shares that you did in there. I hope to see you, me and Adia, hope to see you at class on Saturday, the 28th. I will send out a follow-up email probably tomorrow. So if you're on my email list, you'll get everything additional that we talked about here. Sort of just like I do after class, I do like a post-class wrap-up. So I'll send that out tomorrow. If you want to get on my email list, there is a freebie in the description box on this video. You can click that freebie, add your name and email. You'll get the freebie, and you'll get added to my list. So that's it. Thanks for being here. I will see you all in YouTube videos, on Facebook if you're there, or in class next Saturday, okay? Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And if you are getting snow tomorrow, pick up some essentials today and just bunker down. All right. We'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.